Welcome back. It is time for another build, and today we're talking about the Gen 4 build. Let's take a look. When I first started developing the Gen 4 build, I asked myself, what would a Gen 4 be? A Gen 3 is a completely synthetic person, something that is indistinguishable from humanity. But why would the Institute be working towards that? And then it occurred to me, because they wanted to integrate this into human beings. Imagine synth eyes, synth muscles, synth organs in a naturally born human being. They'd be stronger, faster, more capable, and live longer and healthier. Add to this the highly modular and modifiable Institute laser, which can be modified to work as a pistol, an automatic pistol, a sniper rifle, or a machine gun, and the ability to summon in lots of Gen 1 synths for backup when necessary. And what you have is a highly adaptable, highly modifiable build, capable of responding to any scenario and coming out ahead. This isn't a commando build. It's not a sniper build. It's humanity redefined. Okay, so right off the bat, before we get started, you're going to notice a few cosmetic changes here on my character. First off, as you can see, I've got red eyes. I downloaded a mod to give me synth eyes. This mod actually has about 8 or 9 different colors. Although, Father uses the same eyes as the player character, so whatever eyes you give yourself, Father's going to have the same. So, in my playthrough, Father had red synth eyes. But it's a small detail, I just ignored it. Also, you'll notice that my armor looks quite different. I downloaded a mod, it's a cosmetic change to synth armor, to make it look a little bit less butt-ass ugly. Also, you will notice behind me a significant lack of foliage along the wall here. See? And that is because I downloaded the Scrap Everything mod, because I got a little bit carried away, but there was a reason for it. I'll get into it later. Anyway, let's get into the build. So the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is power armor, because as you can see, there is an Institute paint job for the XO1 power armor, and only the XO1. There is a mod that extends it to others. I think the T45 and the T51. But vanilla, it's only the XO1. And it gives a +1 to intelligence, and that +1 stacks with the database mod that you can put on the helmet. Meaning that this gives a total of a +3 to intelligence, which comes out to about a +10% XP gain while you're wearing this armor. So that's pretty nice, worth mentioning. Next, let's talk about equipment. So early game, I went with a Vault suit that I switched to white. I love that this Vault suit color changing thing was added in the Anniversary Edition, or the Deluxe Edition, or the whatever edition, the most recent update. They made the Creation Club Vault suit rainbow color thing a default part of the game, and I love it. So I went with the white, and then I went and picked up the Destroyer armor, because I know that combat armor at the highest level looks white. And I thought this is a good facsimile, because the Destroyer is almost a complete set, and every one of these pieces can just be bought at various vendors. So there's no, level where you need to be to get these. You can just go to these vendors. If you've got enough caps, you can go buy them at level 2 or 3, which is, at that level, this set is OP. It's just such a nice set to get at a low level. And then, of course, I just went and bought this from the weapons vendor in Diamond City. Later on, I picked up some synth armor. I actually picked up quite a bit of synth armor. I got really lucky. I found a fortifying synth chest piece at level 12. It might have been a little later. I don't remember exactly what level I was, but I know for sure I wasn't level 20 yet. I got this really early on. And I rolled with that until I got Acadia's shield. You can see what my my final loadout here is. A lot of these two are actually combat armor. They're not synth armor, but I use them because I don't know how many times I've seen synths just drop in from overhead, and I kind of wanted to do that. I wanted that to be a thing that this character could do, where it would just drop in on enemies from overhead like a synth. You just go in and just throw a couple of Gen 1 grenades and then just drop in from overhead, just start attacking. The synth uniform, you can acquire this without console commands. Once you join the Institute, if you take X688 as a companion, he has it in his inventory and you can just take it. So this, you can acquire it. And as you can see, it gives you a +1 to perception. It cannot be upgraded with Ballistic Weave though. So this is all you got here. But you can at least wear armor over it. So at least there's that. It's a nice looking outfit and it gives you a bonus to perception. And then of course, there's probably the best option available. The armored, if you're going to do Ballistic Weave, this is probably the best thing to put it on. Because in addition to giving you a +1 to perception endurance and 15 radiation, it already has its own armor rate. This is actually not even maxed out. Let me go max this out real quick. Okay, so now it's fully maxed out. And as you can see, it is quite good. This is one of the best armors that you can apply Ballistic Weave to. You know, for things that can't have armor on them, it's the best option, period. It's just super good. And look at it. It looks awesome. And of course, last thing I wanted to mention, you get access to the Institute Division head coat. There's no armor rating. It gives you 1 intelligence and 1 perception, and it cannot be modified with Ballistic Weave. But you do get access to it. If you like the look of it, it does look pretty cool. You can walk around wearing your I'm the Boss of the Institute outfit, blowing people away in the wasteland. Just know that they will be able to blow you away back pretty easily because you will have no armor. Okay, now let's talk about weapons. Now, I got quite lucky. I got a quick draw overcharged rifle pretty early on and fully maxed out. One of the things I did mention is this is a very modular weapon. I know all the weapons are modular, but this one in particular, it exceeds all others because while, for example, you could have a 308 combat rifle that is a sniper rifle, or you can mod it to be a machine gun. You can't mod it to be a pistol. This gun can be any gun. So you can have one as a pistol. You can have one as a machine gun pistol. You can have one as a machine gun rifle. And then you could also have one as a sniper rifle. And they all use the same ammo. So you only have to carry one ammo type. And that ammo type is extremely common in this game. And let me tell you right here, these grenades, this is the piece du jour of this build. This is not a Institute laser build. It's a synth relay grenade build. It is all about these. Let me tell you, this grenades is the closest I've ever come to playing Pokemon in this game. Super! Stop moving! Okay, maybe not quite, but if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, okay, and you know what a white weenie deck is, you know what the term is, and you know what I'm getting at here. But for those of you that don't, in Magic the Gathering, white decks are known for being able to flood the field with lots of small creatures instead of just one big one. Like, if think of your character in this game as the one big creature, the synths, the Gen 1 synths, those are your white weenies. Those are your little minions. You can summon little armies of these, and there's no limit to how many you can throw out there. I've had 10 at a time out. So you can have 10 of these out there, plus yourself, plus if you want, you can go grab X688. You're a walking army with these. These are so fun. I only lament that you get it so late in the game. You don't get these until after you complete Mass Fusion. And I think one other quest, you basically have to become director of the Institute before you can get these. So you get them like really late in the game, but they're so fun to run around with and just throw 5 or 6 of them out there at a time and just let them draw the aggro. And once they've got the aggro, you can, if you want, just stand back and watch and let them kill stuff. And they'll take stuff down. These are very fun. A couple caveats though. First and foremost, you don't want to be destroying them. Although if they are destroyed on their own in the course of combat by enemies, you can loot their corpses for ammunition and you can take their guns as well, which you can either sell or scrap for parts to upgrade your own gun. But if you damage them yourself, if you destroy your own synths, after a while, all of the synths will just go hostile against you, even if you're the director of the Institute, which I thought was a cool detail they added in, that you could actually have a synth revolt if you're too abusive to the synths. Let's talk about fusion cells. Now these, you can see they're worth 3, but you don't get them for 3. You get them for, best case scenario, 4. They're not cheap, so you are going to want to keep that in mind, and you're going to want to do things like this. Now I have over here wrenches, screwdrivers, combination wrenches, ball peen hammers, and adjustable wrenches in Vault 81. There is a maintenance worker who will buy these 5 tool types and will give you 15 caps a piece. And then, of course, pre-war money, that's just free money. Look, it's worth 8 caps and it weighs 0. And the only thing it gives you if you scrap it is cloth, which gives you 1. It's way more valuable as money, and you can carry an infinite amount. It's literally just money. It's just free money. All right, so as you can see, I cleared out a lot of the foliage here. This right here is why I got the scrap everything, because there was a lot of brush and stuff here, and she was hard to see. So I am 19. You see these blocks in the road here? I calculated they're about 6 feet, and I am 19 of them away from her. So I am about 110 feet away from her. And look at this accuracy. I still got 95% on the torso, 47% on the head. Now, if I go and get the companion perk from McCready, that's another 20%. That puts me up to 67. If I then take the sniper perk, which gives me another 25, that puts me up to 93% on a headshot from 110 paces. That's enough that she won't be able to see me. Let's look at a closer target. There's 95, 95, 93, 93, 95, 95. Okay, so we talked about equipment, weapons, ammo. Let's talk about attributes and perks. So this is clearly an endurance build, although by the end, it ends up being a perception build. The reason why I did it this way is because I felt like as a synth, like you should be really rugged and tough and hard to kill. And with the enhance, and I thought, I started dumping into perception over here, you can see, because I was having some accuracy issues with only a 3 perception. And so I figured, well, later on, I'll just dump into perception. And I ended up maxing it out. You see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 3 is 9, plus the bobblehead is 10. And then I get plus 2 from Vans. And I think I actually, on the character, have a 14, because I get another plus 2 from my equipment. So this is a super accurate character. The only reason I started at a 3 perception was to get the bobblehead right away, because you get that in it's like the first bobblehead you can get in Concord to get lockpicking. Strength, we only need a 3 for armor smithing. I went and got the bobblehead, but you don't need to. It's optional. Charisma 3, I'm always at a 3 for Lone Wanderer. And then intelligence, we put it at a 4 so that we could get hacking right away. And then we picked up the Your bobblehead, the Your special and the bobblehead to get it up to a 6, both for XP's sake and because we wanted to get, what was it? Is it science that requires a 6? I think it's science that requires a 6, yeah. And the reason we want science is because the Institute laser does not use the gun nut perk, it actually uses science. Agility, we started with a 3. We don't actually have any agility perks. I just put it at a 3 to have a few action points. Then I realized I was a little bit low on action points, so I went and got the bobblehead and the settlement object we put on there as well to put us up to a 5. Between that and Lone Wanderer, we were good on action points. With this setup, we can get about 4 shots, I want to say. I did the character, eventually I capped him out around level 58 by the time I was done getting everything that I wanted done. So beyond level 51, I started dumping into agility because there's really very little that this build needs to be good. And then luck, we started at 2, got a bobblehead to go up to 3 so that we could get Bloody Mess. All right, so let's take a look at our perks. Now, early on, we are focusing on making our character tough and resilient. Like I said, you've got synth components implanted into your body, so you're gonna be tough as nails. So I went with Lone Wanderer and toughness right off the bat, and then I picked up Armorer. so I get that full studded leather as quickly as possible to just really make our character tough. And then adamantium as well, because I figured one of the things that you're going to have is going to be unbreakable limbs. I also then went into locksmith and hacker. We want to get these utility stuff out of the way early because you don't want to leave good loot behind, right? After that, we start building up riflemen and more defenses. And then I did take 1 rank of scrapper because you need a lot of screws and plastic and other components in order to upgrade your rifle. And I found that 1 rank of scrapper with all of the Institute lasers that I was getting from dead synths was more than enough to give me everything I needed so that I didn't have to go scrounging around for parts. So around level 15 is when I did the fire support quest with Paladin Dance. So that's why I took scrapper at that level, because I had a bunch of guns that I wanted to scrap, and so I just kept 1, and that was mine. I scrapped the others and started upgrading. So level 16, I took the first rank of science. 17, we took another rank of Lone Wanderer. And we just keep building up on the stuff that we've already got here. You know, more toughness, locksmith, rifleman, hacker, science. I took a rank of Aquaboy at level 23. I wanted it in here somewhere because I don't like taking radiation from water. And I figured since it'd have some kind of defense against that. At 24 and 25, I took Caps Collectors 1 and 2. That is because we wanted to make the cost of our ammunition as cheap as possible, because this gun just absolutely, you think, oh, well, it's a regular rifle. It's not an auto fire, so I won't use ammo as quickly. But the rate of fire is so good on this thing that it's almost like an automatic weapon, and it really devours ammunition. And it doesn't fire 100% in a straight line. So you might have a few shots here and there that'll miss. So you will burn through ammo quickly. Up until 30, we keep building up all the stuff that we've got. We start taking Bloody Mess in the mid-30s, and we take Rad Resistance. I always like to put Rad Resistance over here in the early to mid-30s, because I figure this is about the level you're going to be when you go into the Glowing Sea. And then after that, that's when I just started dumping into Perception, because other than finishing up with the stuff we'd already started, Toughness, Rifleman, Lone Wanderer, I just didn't have anything else on this character that I needed, but I wanted to work on my accuracy, so I just dumped into Perception until it was maxed out. And then at 49 and 51, I took Vans. Now, I explicitly wanted Vans on this build somewhere, and I kind of regret waiting until 49 to take level 1 of Vans. I kind of wish I'd have put it back here somewhere. In my estimation, because we have the implanted synth eyes, the Vans represents the enhanced tracking ability of the character. That if he's got a target, he has implanted systems that integrate with the Pip-Boy to allow him to track anything across any distance. And then, of course, we took Lone Wanderer at 50 to give ourselves a few more action points. So there you have it. That is the Gen 4 build. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Give it a try. Yes, it does mean that you're going to have to join the Institute and be the big bad boogeyman of the Commonwealth, but it'll be fun while you do it. In the meantime, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.